standing out. Is there a difference between standing out or to stand out and to being outstanding? I'm Pemije Gadimoh, and I moved from standing out to being outstanding. You could stand out and not be outstanding, and you could stand out and be outstanding. I'll tell you why. Because you could stand out in a negative way, and you could choose to stand out in a positive way. But when you're outstanding, which means you're excellent. When I got invited to speak at TEDxUniversityOfBenin, and I saw the theme, stand out, it made me reflect back to my early life. And I would appreciate if the slides can come up now. It made me reflect back to my early life or my childhood and early education. During my nursery days or early primary school days, I stood out as a dullard. Yeah. And in fact, there was a day they called my mom and told her, look, just take this boy home. He's not ready for school yet. And bring him back some other time. And then I reflect back because I won an award in my mid-primary school days. As, in fact, it was specially created for me, the most outstanding student or pupil then of the year. Because I moved from being last, in fact, scoring 0 to topping the class in one session. It was like magic. In fact, my mom didn't come for the speech and prize giving day because she was always embarrassed, and then people had to call her and she ran from work on that day. That's just my story. And I grew up in Lagos, and I know many people are thinking that's me, and maybe before my standout moment, that's not me. That's a bus conductor. And my topic is in pidgin language, which is, I think, an exception. I'm standing out here from all the other speakers. Where might change? I'm talking about perfection. How does it correlate? Look, you get into the bus, you hold 1,000 naira notes. The bus fare is 100 naira. And then the bus conductor asks you, you get change? You tell him, no, I don't. I have 1,000 naira. He tells you, get in. Other passengers come with the same problem. He says, get in. At that point in time, he has no perfection plan. He doesn't know how he's going to get everybody their change, right? But then he hits the driver's seat and says, Oga, driver, move. Let's still go back to the first slide. Not yet now. Oga, driver, move. And the driver starts the ride. They get to the destination where you're to alight, and then the Lagos conductor will say, you give him 200, you give him 300. And before you know, you have your change, your balance. Everybody is settled. And in the case where he can't settle it inside the bus, he goes down, stops another bus, and then assists, asks for help there, and they get him the change. He settles everybody. How does this story correlate with yours, everybody here, and even myself? The bus would have never moved if they waited for perfection. If they waited to see that, oh, I would get him 900, I would get him 700, they would never move from the park. So many people's dreams, so many people's plans, so many people's lives are there. Next slide. I would love to give a personal story. During the introduction, they said so many things. I think I do a billion things, those people who know me. And then I'm also very involved in my field of study, optometry. And they said just the optometry things I do or eye care things I do. And in my 200 level days, I'm in 400 level now, I had a crazy idea. I'll say it was birthed out of frustration. One day, I applied for so many internship opportunities, job offers for students in eye care, and I received so many rejection mails. Why? You're an optometry student based in Nigeria. My location was a barrier. My field of study was a barrier. And then it wasn't a barrier to students in the US, in UK, in Europe. And I thought, why don't we have a platform connecting everybody together? And then this thing is going to be equal. And then I started something, a crazy name, which doesn't even look like or resemble what its mission is. I said OPTOGLOBE. Sounded crazy. I created a WhatsApp group, added 4 of my friends. Abasi, who just introduced me, Adetono Adeboye was part of them. I don't think I see any other of the 2 here. At that point in time, I didn't even have any plan. I didn't have it all perfect. I just knew them and I added them to the WhatsApp group and I sent it in there. Unknown to me, these guys didn't even believe in me. I traveled for the African Council of Optometry meeting in Tanzania 3 weeks ago. And when I got out of the flight, I said, let me come online. And I saw there were so many mentions, on WhatsApp. WhatsApp now notifies you when people mention you. And I read specifically Abasi Ofon's post on his status, and he said he didn't believe in me or the dream. Yeah, I don't think I've had that discussion with him since then. I didn't even reply the status or like it, but I'm saying it here. Many of them didn't believe. My senior colleagues who I met said, it's not possible. TEDx, I was to attend TEDxUniberstyUniben last year, which was START. I traveled to Owerri for a conference then, and I met someone there. Then I'd already started. And I told him, and he said he doesn't believe in me. It would fail. He was blunt. Told me, you are black. Nobody's going to support you. As of last year, in November around this time, so still not perfect. I was wondering. We pushed on. We continued moving, doing what we could. There was no money, no recognition, no nothing. And then one day I got on LinkedIn, looked out the World Council of Optometry President's profile and sent her a connection. And in less than 3 minutes, she accepted it. I sent her a message and she replied me and told me, I've been looking out for you. Apparently, while I was doing my thing, looking like nobody noticed, people were going for conferences and telling her, Pemije Gadimoh is doing something, look for him. And we had a meeting, and today, I think all the optometry students here can testify. So that's just my story about perfection. And I'm telling you today, you are drivers. You are all drivers. You have your bus conductor. You have passengers. You have a plan. You have a dream. How do you stand out if you don't start those plans or dreams? Oga driver starts. That's my message to you. You don't have to wait for perfection. Is it business? Do you want to start writing blogs? Start from your WhatsApp status. Start it from Twitter. You never can tell who's watching. Start it anywhere. You want to start your Chin business? Some people want to start so big. You are not minimally Chin. They are the biggest brand, if you look at it that way. Start it small and see how far you go. So I want to admonish everyone to start the ride. Next slide. I came across a tweet. I'm being very careful because TEDx has a lot of rules. So I didn't put the tweet screenshots here, but I would read out the tweet. And I called this the clueless painter. Maybe some of you have come across it. And then it says, the tweet, put this picture and says, learn how to finish before you begin. And then there was a quote tweet which said, just wait for the paint to dry, then paint that end. What's the moral lesson? If you wish or if you wait to understand to finish, you may never begin. Just start. You will figure it out along the way. Just like the bus driver or the bus conductor. He didn't wait at the park. He started. Hold everybody with you on that journey within. He never let any passenger go. He had them on the bus. They would be very useful at the end of the journey or when you reach your destination. That's my message to TEDxUniben today. Very brief, and I hope it has impacted you. And I hope to see everyone there stand out. Thank you.